Well, you heard him on the School of Rock stage Saturday morning at the Gathering of the Vibes 2014. John Voket here from 99.1 PLR with Nick Depuy, and Nick's got some talent. Let me tell you, Nick. I gotta say, I'm sitting there listening to you, and I'm hearing like shades of Ben Taylor and John Prine, and even a little Amos Lee thrown in there. Now, I hate to pigeonhole you in with a bunch of unknowns, but you're also a young guy, a very tall guy.
It's true.
And so you're so much closer to your youth than somebody who's been doing this for 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years. How did you, or do you remember like kind of coming out of the fog and starting to formulate your songwriting style? Was it people you were hearing? Was it coming out of you organically and it just happened to have all these fantastic influences?
I think the first sort of musical breakthrough that I had was I started listening to Sufjan Stevens. Sufjan Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was around 8th, 7th grade.
Yep.
And that sort of started to germinate my want to learn and be interested in music.
Mm-hmm.
And I had two very good friends who play guitar, and they sort of forced me to start playing the guitar. And I don't know, I started listening to people like Bob Dylan and Jeff Buckley, and I really got into Nick Drake a lot around freshman year. So I think the intricate way that Nick Drake always has amazing guitar arrangements along with really poetic lyrics. So I've tried to emulate styles like that.
Are you self-taught on guitar, or did your friends sort of mentor you?
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my friends were a lot farther along than I was, so they definitely took me under their wing at first freshman year, and then when I showed interest, my dad got me a really good guitar teacher by the name of Matt Ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's an amazing country guitarist.
Yeah, so you had both the academic and the sort of street training,
That's right.
so to speak, right?
Yeah. And then hours in the bedroom alone, just sort of hacking it out and working it out yourself.
So the coolest thing about you being here at the Vibes, maybe a little earlier than the big crowds might be, although you had a pretty swarthy crowd in there watching you on the School of Rock stage. The cool thing is you're here in the Vibes at the morning, and then you sort of, take the Clark Kent suit off and put on the cape and the superhero costume, and then you go to work raising money for a really cool situation here in Bridgeport.
That's right. I'll be playing at the Bijou Theater in Bridgeport, and half of the sales that I make is going to go to my local YMCA, and it's going to go towards youth programs in that YMCA. I've worked there for a couple years now, being a camp counselor. This is my first summer where I haven't been a camp counselor, so I decided to give back in another way. Because,
do you get to actually kind of just show up one day with a guitar and just say, "Hey kids, want to hear some music?"
I do that now. Yeah.
That's great. And so you're from New Canaan?
Yes.
Connecticut grown?
That's right.
Bred?
Born and raised.
Yeah, great. So after the Bijou gig, what is in the near future for Nick Depuy?
I have a couple more gigs and performances lined up. I'll be playing at the Princeton Club in New York on the 13th of August.
Very nice paneling, man.
That's right.
Beautifully paneled.
Yeah. I haven't been there, but I'll take your word.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Wait, you'll go in there, you'll be smelling leather and cigar, and you'll just want to sink into an easy chair.
Okay.
The Princeton.
I look forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to say yes. When I talk to you.
Okay. I'll take that into my voice.
Try to put a little Massachusetts accent flavor in it.
All right. For sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then I go back to school August 18th, and I'll start playing in DC, in the DC area too, and Adams Morgan mostly.
Are you at the point where you're starting to have some interactions with more established artists, getting some idea that you know what next depth you'd like to swim to in the big pool of the music business?
I'm definitely starting to, for my entire journey as a performer, I've always been solo, but now I've just started to really caught into the idea of having people behind me.
Great.
So I've recently met a really awesome cajon player that I'm going to start going out with and stuff, and I know some players in DC that I might connect with
as well. Is
guitar
your only instrument?
Guitar is my main instrument. I'm taking piano lessons, but
good for you.
Yeah, I'm working on that. But guitar is the instrument that I'm most comfortable with.
Awesome. Very, very good. Well, it was great to meet you, and we know we got to get you off to your fundraising gig tonight at the Bijou Theater. You have a website, Facebook page, the whole social media thing?
Yeah, you can.
Folks, you got to check this guy out, Nick Depuy. Nick, tell them how they can learn more about you.
You can find me on my website, nickdepuy.com, and that's nickdepuy.com.
John Voket from 99.1 PLR here live at the Gathering of the Vibes 2014.